as well as trying to innovate and come up with their own technology. So it's a really interesting time. I can see in the future we're going to have some big players joining. We're going to see new products from vendors that used to be complementary that are now competitive, and I can see it's going to be a good thing for the customer.
Now we're taking that on a global basis rather than just in the UK or Europe. So that's what's driving me. It's the global expansion and helping our customers.
There's more business in cybersecurity than there's people. So how we've sort of addressed that is we have a whole recruitment internal team, and they've been the recipe for us being able to bring the people we want into our business, the right aptitude and the right attitude and the right skill set. I think that's put us head and shoulders ahead of everyone else.
Welcome to CyberIAM's
Behind the Mask.
Hi, my name's Andy Pinnington.
And I'm Michael Ribaudo. So Andy, why did we start CyberIAM back in the day? What was the reason for founding the business?
So we started CyberIAM because we knew there was a gap in the identity and access management professional services space, because all the boutiques were being bought up. And we knew that there was a need for a dedicated partner in this space. Why would a client use CyberIAM for our services and not going onto the market and get a contractor?
So that's a great question. We get asked this from our customers quite often. The main reason is there's no accountability. 7, 10, 20 contractors pulling in different directions never works. You need someone who's accountable, expertise, IP, and able to deliver to a set of skills.
I guess the other thing that we do is we also have a blended team of business consultants and technical consultants as well.
I mean, that's how we've differentiated ourselves in the market all these years, right? The large organizations, SIs, have a lot of business skills, and the smaller boutiques have a lot of technical skills. But we decided early on to do both. Let's talk a little bit about our vision for the future. Where do you see CyberIAM going?
So if we just talk about where we are currently, we're at 145, 150 employees. And we've expanded already into 3 continents. So we're currently in Australia, Europe, and South Africa. I can see over the next year we're going to build our employees, I'd say to around 200 to 250 employees over the next year, and then increase what we're doing in those territories.
Yeah, people always wonder why we mention our employee count as a benchmark, and I think it's being a services and a people-first business. It is a sign of how well we're doing in our growth and our amount of consultants, and that's, I think, the people-first side is what's put us in good stead to be successful.
Yeah, and I think our CyberIAM University program really helps when bringing in new employees, because there is a skill shortage in this space, and obviously we do as much as we can to train up all our staff. I
totally agree. I think our university program is best in class. It's got us to have some of the best technicians come out of, and business consultants come out of our program and end up being market leaders.
Some of our graduates have now come through to management consultant level, which is amazing.
It's amazing, yes.
Where do you see the market going in the next 3 to 5 years?
It's a very exciting time for identity and cybersecurity. We're seeing a lot of our vendors trying to become the platform of choice, purchasing or acquiring other businesses, as well as trying to innovate and come up with their own technology. So it's a really interesting time. I can see in the future we're going to have some big players joining. We're going to see new products from vendors that used to be complementary that are now competitive, and I can see it's going to be a good thing for the customer and for CyberIAM to have this sort of joining up of identity services to be able to deliver. So Andy, we're a small organization in the greater scheme of some of the huge SIs. What does our customer base look like, and what does our future customers that we're going to be targeting look like?
So our customers go across all the verticals, and we go from healthcare all the way through to finance, insurance, retail, technology companies, manufacturing companies, and in the UK alone we have 10% of the top FTSE 50 and the 10%, or actually 12% of the FTSE 100 customers, which is really, really good.
Yeah, our partners are always really impressed when we start talking about which customers we deal with and how we're able to play in that space and be very successful in delivery. I think being employee first and customer pretty close second is how we get the best services, because our employees will really back us up in front of our customers.
Yeah, and I think we've always had experience of working with customers from 10,000 to 300,000 employees, and we put blended teams across, so we do both a business and a technical team, and that's why we work really, really well. Absolutely. What has the recipe of success been for CyberIAM?
I always think about this as kind of like how some of the other large original companies, if you think about Apple, Microsoft, there's always two founders. And I think, as hard as it can be sometimes with two founders, having two heads has always been better than one. And I think that's really allowed us to bounce off each other, to continually evolve and challenge each other. And I think that's why we've got what we've got. What do you think personally drives you?
So what drives me with the company is seeing it grow. And also, ever since we started, we've always been told we've been unable to do stuff and we'd never succeed. And personally, it's been disruptive, actually. I think we're very disruptive to the marketplace. And now we're taking that on a global basis rather than just in the UK, Europe. So that's what's driving me. It's the global expansion and helping our customers.
And I mean, I think that's looking and talking to other entrepreneurs. It's really what has got them to where they are. Whenever anyone says no, it can't be done or it shouldn't be done, but we've had a clear vision from day one. I think what drives me is really the people. We've had people in juniors coming into our business that started off really with an old uni car, and now they're buying houses and buying nice cars, and just seeing them evolve into adults and really good pillars of society. That really drives me.
So what are some of the challenges CyberIAM has faced in the last 6 years?
I think it's the same challenges that most other companies in our situation have, which is there's more business in cybersecurity than there's people. So how we've sort of addressed that is we have a whole recruitment internal team, and they've been the recipe for us being able to bring the people we want into our business, the right aptitude and the right attitude and the right skill set. And I think that's put us head and shoulders ahead of everyone else.
One question I always get asked is, how do we find and retain the staff? So I think one of the things is our interview process. Would you like to just talk us through our interview process and how robust it is?
Yeah, so from a previous role I had in another business, the interview process was very robust, and I kind of took a little bit from that and evolved it into what we have today. So our recruiters go out and try to find these good people that they know that we're looking for and they fit for the business. We then have a first, second and third stage interview. I personally interview everyone from senior consultant and above, and some of the others on the third stage interview. I used to do all of them, but obviously we're 150 employees now and doing hundreds of interviews a month, so it's not sustainable. But we try and make sure that everyone is a culture fit and everyone has the skill set to succeed in our business, and that gives us a great attrition for our employees. So this year, I think our hard work is starting to pay off, and we've been recognised for a couple of awards, some from the business and some personally, even though I don't think the personal ones are you and I. We put that all down to our team in the business. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So the awards we've won this year have been amazing. We have been nominated for a number of awards, the Entrepreneur of the Year awards twice. So we've had the LDC awards for the Lloyds Banking Group, and also the EY awards, which were very, very good. We're both honoured to be nominated as part of that. We're also in the Financial Times Top 1000 as the fastest growing cybersecurity company in Europe, which is also amazing.
And I think on that one we've got to the top 100 in Europe of all companies, and top 50 in the UK, which is pretty good.
So what do CyberIAM consultants do differently to other organisations like ours?
So this can come across sometimes a little differently than some of our competitors, but we pride ourselves on our consultants saying no at the right time. So when it's the wrong thing for the customer, we don't just say yes and you take the money. That's just not what we're about. We're about doing the right thing for the customer. So when we have to stand up and say no, it's the wrong thing to do, I think that's what makes our consultants really strong.
So what you're saying is that we try and advise our clients to do the right thing, and if they're doing the wrong thing, then we generally would point that out to them and advise against doing that.
Absolutely. And I think early on we started doing some things out of the box, and not just staying in the guardrails for the sake of it when it was the wrong thing to do, whether it was a staging database or something different, just to give the customer the best experience for the money they were paying.
And that's a little bit different to the professional services of vendors because they do keep inside the box.
I think finally, Andy, what's next?
So I think next we are continuing our growth. We want to move into more territories. So I think we would be looking at the United States potentially, maybe even the Middle East, probably a couple of countries in Europe, expanding what we're doing with our employees, expanding our employee base and expanding our customer base.
Thanks for the last 6 years. I'm excited for the next 6 and we're going to take it on.
Please click subscribe.
And leave a like and a comment for Behind the Mask for CyberIAM.